Uh, I started out this morning. I've decided I'm just going to be really calm and not get upset about what these people do. But it's just impossible. I can't. It's I can't do it. So uh, thought I'd get on and say, well, last night, the one of the people across the alley, catty corner, was burning something really awful. It was just smoke. This man that I didn't recognize. It's usually this other guy that's there. Um, but this guy, uh, I thought I did recognize him from one of these other houses around here. But he was back there burning something that billows of smoke came out and just filled everything. It just I could The reason I went out there last night was because I smelled this awful smoke. It was like choking smoke. And because my windows were open, and so I went out there, and this guy was just doing something, you know. There's a fence there, so uh, he was doing something, just burning something that was noxious. And so um, then that stopped, I guess, after a while. But then this morning, I woke up to this. I went out the back door to bring the puppy, and it was just, or the kitty cat, and there was this different smell, but it was really awful. It got in my nose, and made my lungs kind of burn. It was just this awful smoke. It was smoke, but it was also almost like a chemical type smell, but I don't know for sure what it was. But it was really strong around my back door. And so I thought about it, and then I went around the yard and looked out the yard, and this was at what, 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, when it's dark out. And I saw this one of the people that, I always talk about, the older lady that lives up there. I think there's another version of her. It's either her sister. I think it must be her sister, because she's younger and she has longer hair, but the same iron gray hair that's kind of nice, but hers is thinner. So I don't know if this older lady wears a wig or what. I don't think so, but her hair isn't as thick and it's longer. But I saw this woman walking from that direction, going to their apartment, and she had a mask on, out there, and there was nobody around, but here she had a mask on. And so called I called I called authorities, and they sent the fire department. And they said that there was a fire like 30 minutes before, a small fire that they had to put out about 30 minutes before, on about 4 blocks away from where I live. And so that could be, but it wasn't the same thing, because it was concentrated in my area, and this woman in the front, but what was the point of arguing it with? They just wouldn't believe me. So I let that go, and so I started having a nice, pleasant morning. I was thinking, oh wow, there's maybe, I know that they're going to do something. They're going to do something to retaliate. They're gonna do something, because they always do. As soon as I call anybody for help, they tap into my phone constantly. They're always trying to connect, always connecting, always connecting, always connecting. And I think they've succeeded somehow, but they have to keep doing that every time I turn my phone on. They have to reconnect it. And it shows as a disconnect on I have my one protection, and then there's another one that they have to keep tapping in, that they have to keep connecting with, And when I charge my phone, I think they're trying to do stuff there because I hear the dings like they're trying to connect, and my phone gets really hot, and so they're doing something. But anyway, they did. So I was all, singing and, making coffee and having a grand old morning, because I wasn't going to let them bother me, but I knew that wasn't true either because they know how to bother me. And so I just, I was, I think, drinking coffee or I was watching TV, and my windows were open, and 2 doors down, that's where they kind of have a dog. Oh, several times a week there's a dog, if not every day. They have a dog there, and then they bring the dog inside somewhere, either that house or the house next to that. But I think it is that house. They bring it into the basement or someplace where it's soundproof, and they torture and kill these dogs, and then they film it and they sell it. They sell that. But they also have kids around here, and men and women that should know better but don't, that go in and kill these dogs, and they pay to do it because they like to kill animals. So this morning I was just sitting there watching TV, and they don't. I never hardly hear the dogs yelping in pain, except very faintly, But this morning it was like just this loud, like it was 2 doors down, this loud yell and prolonged yell and scream and crying and yelping and in pain. And then so I ran outside, and of course I didn't see anything. Nothing was there, nothing anywhere, nowhere, it was all quiet. So anyway, so I decided to call again. I mean, I'd already called once this morning, so I called again, and so I'm waiting for the authorities to come and to talk to them about it. But I doubt nothing's going to happen. But that, it gets me upset, and if I hear that a dog's in pain, then I have to do something. I just don't know what to do. I've been to the Humane Society, and they do nothing. They just don't believe me, and so there's really nobody I can rely on or get help from except for calling. And so and then I don't know, it's just I'm not a person that calls, and I don't do that. But I'm really tired of this. I'm really tired of it, and I want something to be done about it. I want somebody to take notice of this. So I went out myself, and before I called, and I took pictures of different cars, and like there's a business a couple doors down that is a front, I think, because they house dogs there. They bring dogs there and house them. I'm thinking, I don't know if they actually do the actual killing there at that place, although it's a possibility, I don't know. But they certainly bring the dogs there. All these dog walkers, I've seen them going in or going to that place. And so I took a picture of, there was a woman in a car just waiting outside the place, so I took a picture of, she watched while I took a picture of the license plate and, the car itself and her. And so then went around to the front of the business and took a picture of a guy at a computer screen, and he was kind of, sitting like this, kind of, I don't know, kind of shading his face. And so then I walked down the street in the front of my house, and Went past that to where I thought the dog had been brought in. That's 2 doors down from where I live, and took a picture of the front of their house, and then there was a car that was close to but not in front of that house, and it's always out of state plates on these cars around. There are so many cars around here, and they're all out of state. Most of them are. And so I took a picture of that, and the house next to the one where I thought the dog was brought in, that one house further down, this couple came out on their porch and started saying, "Why are you taking a picture of the car? Don't take a picture." And I never engage with these people if I can help it, and so I didn't say anything, and so I took a picture of them. Well, and they said, "What are you doing? You're just, and then the man was, or the young man was, kind of not belligerent, but just saying, "What are you doing? What?" And she was kind of older than him, and she was saying, "Can I ask why you're doing this? Can I ask why you're doing this?" And so I didn't say anything, and so I just started walking back to my house, and he was still yelling at me and came out on the sidewalk, and he said, "Well, I'm going to be calling the police. If you won't tell me what you're doing, And so I turned around and started walking right back up to him to take a closer picture of him, and he turned around and ran back inside the house. He said, "I'm calling the police," and he ran back inside the house. And then she was out there, and I don't know, she was just babbling something, and so I took a closer picture of her. And so I went, then, oh gosh, I'm doing what I can, because it's a gang stalking situation, mainly for me, that affects me directly. And the whole time I was taking videos and taking pictures around my block, they were frantically trying to connect on my phone. It kept going blink, and disconnect, blink, disconnect. I would have to exit that, and then it would blink again. It would just right after another, trying to connect on my phone. And whether they are or not, I think they probably are. They're able to monitor my phone somehow, but I guess they've got to connect somehow to do it, to be able to do it. And so then I came back inside the house and called. And so I'm waiting for them to show up. But since I've called, every time I turn on my phone, they try to connect. Nothing. It's nothing. And it's warm. It's really warm to the touch. So they're doing something. And a lot of times when I do make some sort of report, well, not a lot of times, because I've, in the past I've tried to keep that down, not to do it, but I've kind of changed my policy now. This old guy that used to have a big dog upstairs, he's, I guess, in charge of this. I don't know, one of the people that's in charge of this hacking type thing. He showed up in his car, and that's what happened. I have noticed that this guy shows up, this old guy, that he's going to take care of the problem. So I don't know. So, but just a few days ago, I think I've said this before, that the one that was attacking the dogs, or keeping them before going in and killing them, this is several times a week that this happens, and there are other places too, like the house across the alley. They have something to do with dogs too. They do. I've seen them bringing dogs in there before. Not very often, because I don't think they do it in my view. And so I think they're involved. But I think a lot of these houses, that's their business. That's what they do. And then these kids, I saw a kid walking with 2 other kids and they were watching something on their phone, you know, like real excited, like they had just done something really great, you know. I mean, so kids are going in there and participating in this. And there was something on the bottom of his shoe, and he picked it up, and he was just holding something, and the other kid that was there, that they were holding their phones, and he took a picture of it, you know, like, you know, ooh, look at this, look what we're doing, you know. Unless it was all gang stalking, a gang stalking thing too, you know. They mix it up, like they do real stuff, and they do fake things, harassing things to me for the gang stalking, you know, to get some sort of reaction from me. And so it's, yeah, it's just crazy. It really is. But I do what I can to try to bring it to light that this does go on. It's a really bad thing that people have jumped on the bandwagon about, and really think it's a great career move for them, I guess. But anyway, I just wanted to get on and say a few things about what's happening. And I guess I'm just not wired to sit back and be zen about animals getting tortured. So, and when I hear an animal in pain, they know that. So it's, you know, for effect also, you know. So who knows how far they're going, who knows how far they're going. I think it's pretty far. I think they're going the ultimate, you know, and it's just a side benefit that they're upsetting me in the process. So that's all for today. We'll see you again. Bye.